And welcome back. So, is AI coming for your job? And honestly, I said that a few years ago when everybody hopping on the bandwagon of AI. Oh, AI is so great. Oh, AI can do this. We need to develop more AI. We need to make AI bigger. And I think 2, 3 years ago, my husband and I had a discussion about that. And I was like, people, be careful what you ask for. Because, yes, pulling up AI is great. AI might be able to do surgeries that surgeon cannot easily perform, or it takes over and takes out the risk of certain things, like even in the military, like bombs and stuff like that. But the way we build AI up at this time and is just insane. And exactly what I said 2 years ago is gonna happen. 2 years ago I said, again, be careful what you wish for. And now, because you gotta think about it logically. I mean, it's just simple. AI comes in, takes your job. Now you don't have a job. Now the masses don't have a job. So what happens now? All these companies who invest in AI, who just laid off so many people, they're gonna lose money on the back end, because now those tens of thousands of people who just lost their job not gonna have money to shop on your site or shop your products. So yes, great, you save millions with adding AI, but now you eliminated the factor that makes your business even possible, which is the people who spend their money that they earn on their income at your company. So, and I made that video because I just heard in the news that, and if I look down, I'm just looking at my cheat sheet here. So Amazon is getting rid of 14,000 people and replacing them with AI. First of all, it's shitty that they're doing it at the end of the year. For some reason, it always happens right before Christmas. Like, don't you, like, karma will bite you in the ass one day. But that's 14,000 people who now don't have a job, who now don't have money to shop on Amazon. Now, let's say just all these 14,000 people spend just $1,000 on Amazon. Okay? That's just 14,000. We have millions of people, billions of people shopping at Amazon. But do the math. If just 14,000 people shop for $1,000 a year, that's still a lot of money. And if you're like not as big as Amazon and you killing off 10,000 people, that's still, you just alienated your clientele. Because those people, 14,000 corporate jobs gone. And I think it was Walmart or another company that was just laying out massive layoffs. And I'm like, I saw it coming. I don't know why nobody else is saw it coming. And I don't know if that's something the government should be stepping in or something. Because really, government has nothing to do with the companies do. But I foresee, hopefully not in my lifetime, but I'm old, so my lifetime is not that long anymore. But we're talking millions of people over the next 5 years that's going to get laid off, that don't have an income, that can't spend their money on those places that they're laid off on. And I am looking at the list. So it says software engineer and developers. I understand some of the stuff is made easier with that AI. You can do your math if you an architect or something and you build a bridge. AI can absolutely be useful doing calculations or double checking your calculations, but it should not become a replacement for their job. And for software engineering developers, it's the same thing. You're going to develop AI up so far that they're going to develop themselves eventually down the road. And then what happens to humanity is my question. HR, human resources, same thing. But where is the personality in that? Everybody went to oh my God, 2020, we all sit at home, we all shopping online, we all don't have to go to work. And it was great. It was great for a year or two. And then people, I think, woke up and realized, man, this just sucks. Yeah, online ordering, I get it in 2 days, it's fun, but now we don't know how to human. And you see it on these deranged people that are running around in that generation that got screwed over by COVID, because they don't know how to human, because they're sitting at home, they're shopping at home, they're eating at home, they don't go out, they don't meet people, they don't do shit. And now they're all blah in the head because they don't know how to human, because they don't have to do anything like that anymore. They don't have to go out. And I think finally people starting to realize, hey, it's more fun to go to a mall. If you don't have money, just window shop. Like walk around the mall with a couple of friends, make it an exercise routine, get a coffee, look at the window, see what's new. If you see something you like, you buy it. It is so much more fun and, so much more gravitating than just ordering online and pushing a button. I don't like it. I like clothes. I don't ever buy clothes online because honestly, every time I order clothes online, they look like shit. They don't fit, and then I gotta deal with returns. So I don't like that. I rather go. I love going to a mall or to a strip mall and stuff like that, and shop around and just look around. It's like relaxation. You get out of the house. You get away from the dogs. You get away from the kids. It's fun. So, customer service representatives. The abuse this customer service representatives got to go through is hell. But you know what's even worse? When I sit on the phone and all I have, for this, push this, for that, push that, for that, put that. Motherfucker, I don't want 1 or 2 or 3. I want a representative. I want to tell him what I have a problem with. And if he cannot help me, he can send me somewhere. Okay? But I don't want to push 20 buttons and then it says, I'm sorry, your call could not be utilized or whatever it tells you, and then they hang up on you and you were just on hold. Like VA, you're on hold for like 3 hours before somebody maybe picks up the phone before they drop the line. Not a good, customer service AI, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Financial analysis. Now again, it can be a tool, but it shouldn't replace it. Data entry and administrative role. Again, you're taking jobs away from people that might not have the ability to go to college and get a fancy degree or something like that. And data entry in something and administrative in certain jobs, you can learn on a job. But now it's all digitalized. And honestly, I was in the military and I was there when we went from paper stuff to everything online, and it's screwed up shit so bad. It will sit in somebody's inbox. They wouldn't even realize it's sitting in their inbox. You get your ass shoot out because that leave form didn't get signed in time, and now the guy wants to go on leave, and it hasn't even been signed by the company commander or the colonel because one of them is sitting on their ass and they got so much other stuff to do. Well, if they have physical copies, they see, okay, I got a stack of leave forms. Let me go through here and sign them. So much better. Legal research staff. Again, it can be a tool, but I think you should not take the personal aspect out of that. Medical transcriptionist. Maybe, but have you ever tried talk a text message on your phone? You say, I flipped the burger, and it says I flipped you off or some shit, So, I don't know. Any kind of transcription service? I'd rather type it myself. I learned my lessons. Let me just say that. Graphic design and visual creators. Yes, AI can be beautiful, but we have so many creative people that have such creative minds who can just create this greatness. Because if you look, for example, a lot of animes right now, I think are made by AI and other. It is not just people thinking out a story, and you can tell because the majority of the anime that I've seen coming out, like bang 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 back to back, they kind of all have the same story. There's just different people, different names, different scenery, but the story is almost the same because AI just rewrites it a little bit and pushing it out instead of use the people who have these great creative minds and let them create the story. That's why Disney stories back in the day were colorful, and they showed some bad and they showed some good that kids learned. It's not always hunky-dory in the world, and now it's all about catering to everybody. And that just, it just sucks. And there are so many other jobs, especially manufacturing jobs. Okay, I understand. Nobody wants to stand there and do the chocolate, millions of chocolates. I get that. But a customer of ours, he just got replaced. He's a CNC. He just got replaced by a machine. He was in charge of the machine, making sure it works. If there's an error, he's right there. Now, it's another computer taking care of a computer, and I'm like, okay, what if that computer breaks? Who's going to be there then to fix that thing? And it just continues to roll down the hill. Now he's unemployed. He has no money for his family, which, don't even get me started on the SNAP and the food stamps. That's going to be another video. But humanity is just going to take itself out that way, We'll just replace everything with AI. Nobody got money. Nobody got money to buy stuff, and people are going to just die off because they can't afford shit anymore. So those are my 2 cents on that. If you have an example or it happened to you that you got laid off by AI, let me know in the comments and let me know, what happened, or what is your thought on that whole AI crap. Like I said, AI can be very useful, but I think it's just getting utilized way too much and too fast for society to survive. I guess.